Welcome back, comrades. This is Gaming with Austin, and today we're going towards episode 5 of season 2. It's time. While I'm doing this episode, I'm gonna continue on with building the skeletal frame. I'm gonna continue on with the skeletal frame. Like, of the shell for the vertical farm. Once I get the frame for the shell finished, I'd start installing all the windows onto it. This is still the skeletal structure. And eventually, when you see the map, eventually, the entire skeletal structure would be finished. But before I install all the windows into the building, I'd start building the tube structure for the stairs. The only reason I'd go for a Nintendo console, like an actual console, is that my brother already has a PS4. My brother already has a PS4. The only reason I'd go for a console is exclusives, like especially Nintendo. Whether it be a Nintendo Switch, like whether it be Super Mario Party, Let's Go Eevee, Let's Go Pikachu, stuff like that. Stuff like that. Eventually, the only console that'll have console exclusives would be the Nintendo console. Have you heard of, like, with Mr. Pickles, the theme song tends to be the most metal theme song after Metalocalypse. Mr. Pickles tends to be one of the most metal cartoons out there after Metalocalypse. Heavy metal's not always satanic. To prove that metal is not always satanic, talk to Tamaraya, the lead singer of Slayer. Yes, he is a Roman Catholic, but doesn't stop him from making really violent music. Yeah, he is a Roman Catholic, but doesn't stop him from making really violent music. Imagine what it would be like if Tamaraya became Pope of the Catholic Church. He'd go towards allowing long hair. Basically, what would happen if Tamaraya became Pope? The Catholic Church would go into death metal. There are some inventions that can change the world that end up being kept a secret too in this world. Like the material called starlight, which was invented by a hairdresser who kept his invention a secret and had NASA. The inventor kept NASA from reverse engineering it by keeping an eye on NASA when they tested the material. So, he kept an eye on NASA when they tested material to make sure they did not reverse engineer it. The patent to their invention, only the inventor's family knows about it too. It's not the only lost invention out there. Have been hidden for decades. The chronovisor it might not exist. But if it did, it can let us see the past, so we could learn from our mistakes. Damascus steel is another unknown invention. Along with the steel tower in India that never rusted at all. Over the course of several hundred years. Most computer cases are actually do have a steel shell with a plastic front. And Greek fire is another lost invention that could have changed the history of warfare. That could burn underwater. One thing that prevents flashlights from all the light getting concentrated to a single point, which will get hotter in the flashlight. Thing that prevents that, you gotta go into the laws of thermodynamics. Energy output cannot exceed the input. It cannot exceed the input. The output cannot exceed the input. Because not only would it violate the second law, it would also violate the first law. The ash left behind when you burn wood is at a lower energy state than the wood. Electrons want to go into a lower energy state so they could become stable. The Tesla energy machine, the reason it couldn't be released, all of it has to do with fears. A lot of it had to do with fear. Tesla was too scared to release it out to the public. Because the big companies that make all the profits wanted to keep making profits. One example of predator versus prey in the prison population is Danny Trejo in the video for Repentless by Slayer. Repentless sounds a bit like an Exodus song from another another thrash metal band called Exodus, especially the song called Strike of the Beast. The Strike of the Beast, initially it came out back in 1985. It was remade back in 2008. That song was played in the Wacken Music Festival back in either 2008 or 2009. Where there was a massive wall of death. In the middle of the song. Just like there's a wall of death in a live video for the Voice of the Voiceless by Heaven Shall Burn. Hence the name Voice of the Voiceless. The song talks about the suffering animals have to go through in the meat industry. With the voice, and Heaven Shall Burn is a deathcore band from Germany, which is where the Wacken Music Festival takes place. It's like the Mecca for metalheads. Like, metalheads from all over the world take the pilgrimage to Wacken. Just like how Muslims take the pilgrimage to Mecca for the Hajj. When they complete the Hajj, they are given an honorary title of Al-Haji. Al-Haji is an honorary title given to those who completed the pilgrimage to Mecca. One of the criticisms I have against Islam is in the Hajj, there's something called, some of the pilgrims commit animal sacrifice for the Hajj. It's one of the things it's one of the many reasons to criticize Islam. Another thing about Islam is they strictly tend to go against homosexuality and feminism. That's another problem. That's another problem. Another thing to criticize about Islam is Sharia law. Some of it's related to Sharia law. It's also one of the many reasons to criticize Christianity, except they have their own counterpart to Sharia law in the Vatican. Where the policies are based off of a Bible. Like with Christianity, they tend, like some parts of the Bible say that like with Christianity, they encourage people to have as many kids as possible. But there is a problem with that. Too many kids, it's pretty risky. It gets kind of stressful for the parents. They'd have to start hoarding food just so they could feed their kids. That's just wrong. But there are some things I agree on with with some religions. With religion. Some of them are part of socialist ideologies. Like, you shouldn't be greedy. You shouldn't have to be greedy to get what you want. When it goes to meat, truth is, you have to work harder for meat compared to vegetables. That is because it involves the actual killing of an animal. Or scavenging. One of the things that concerns me is speciesism. Like, where they value an animal of one species as a pet. Speciesism is basically where one person values an animal, one species of animal as a pet and the other as food. It's not fair for any of the animals. It's discrimination. I see it as discrimination. I see speciesism as wrong. The rodeo, I see it as kind of cruel. I see this cruel because the ones riding the bull are wearing the spurs with leather boots. And the bull is wearing a really tight waistband. They buck pretty violently trying to try to get it, take it off. To no avail. Jackass number 2 shows you why you should never go to a rodeo. For me, I'm better off with the mechanical bull. Personally, I'm better off with the mechanical bull. Instead of an actual bull. Because it's actually more humane to ride a mechanical bull. Because you're not hurting... Anyways... Because you're not hurting an actual bull. And anyways, this is it for this video. Don't forget to leave a if you liked this video, if you disliked it, subscribe for more. Share this with your comrades on social media. And as always, thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more. And peace out.